Hi guys, welcome. Scatlink here, and we are off for something a little bit different and interesting that I've tried before in the past, but didn't actually go down very well. But hey, I might be able to do it now, and it's also in 60 frames. On my Super Nintendo Mini, I have put on a game that used to be on the Super Nintendo, the BSX Satellaview system in Japan only, for the Super Famicom, and that was a Zelda game lost to time, which I'm highlighting, Legend of Zelda Ancient Stone Tablets. This is basically like a lost sequel of A Link to the Past that Nintendo have never re-released. In fact, they only re-released it once for the BSX Satellaview, and it was basically broadcasted through radio waves to your system, like a downloadable game, as it were. But when you play the game, it would normally have timed events every so often, every few minutes, and it would have different effects happen every couple of minutes. Not only that, but when you're playing along with the game, it would also give you audible, but basically voice acting. Like, it would explain what is going on as you're playing, so you wouldn't have to have text. Of course, this is a ROM hack. This has been restored by fans by whatever data they could scrounge up in order to make 4 weeks out of it, because it was 4 downloads once a week, 4 weeks in a row. They did another run immediately the next 4 weeks, and then they did a second rerun of the game proper, but what, about a year later, I believe? I think that's correct, but I don't know the details exactly, but it's like, how do I explain this? It's like having a game live streamed to you as you play it. You had to specifically play it within a certain time frame. And the problem with that is that it's no longer playable. But we have live streaming these days, which is how I'm doing this Let's Play. That was the idea. And yeah, it's like you don't offer that as part of the Nintendo Switch Online service. Or you could have just had it restored and downloadable, and it would just play the sounds as it would. It's supposed to have an orchestrated soundtrack along with it as well, which was restored with fan-made orchestrals, as well as fan-made translated, like dubbed to English sort of thing, fan dub of it. And you can get that. I think it uses the MXU or MSU2 functionality that in most emulators. This is running on the system's native emulator, by the way, which is pretty sweet. But I've got the text version, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to talk, because they would always be talking over me, or I'll be talking over them. So this is the text version. So at the bottom of the screen, you'll have the text of what would normally be spoken in real time. I've got some notes letting you know certain things that are happening, but pretty much the game explains it to you as you go. So let's hop into this folder, and you can see that I've got weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the way that I've set this up, as I've mentioned, within every single one of these folders, the ROM is called exactly the same in each of these folders. Even though it's obviously week 1, week 2, these are just the folders that are distinguishing which one's which, so that when I set up the save file within the quote-unquote server within the Super Nintendo Mini, I don't have to do anything with save data. It is linked all the way across. And if you're going to be putting Ancient Stone Tablets on your Super Nintendo Mini, or Super Nintendo Classic as you want to call it, you would have to do that, because there's no way for you to actually move the save data over. But it also shares save states, which are very helpful for making checkpoints, so that even if you're in the wrong ROM, you can load that save data, then hit the reset, boot into it again proper, because you've updated the SRAM. Remember, restore points affect SRAM built-in saves as well, not save states which are separate. So they would clock that, the in-game save back as well, but that would also set that. So you can use that to break earlier weeks, which we'll probably do as a bonus. So that's pretty much the gist of it, really. It's a game that Nintendo will never re-release for whatever reason, despite having the tools, a service that is specifically designed to do this sort of thing, and yet they won't do it, and then they ruin it even more by not adding additional things or fixing it, but they release a new tier that has a broken emulator, and I don't bloody know. It's a mess. So let's just hop in and begin. This would be the hub area of the Satellaview's built-in, like, exploratory thing, and then this would be when you would be downloading the actual game. A new adventure has begun in Hyrule. 6 years ago, the hero Link threw down the king of evil, Ganon. Since then, the land of Hyrule has basked in a time of peace. Help me! Each night I have dreamt the same dream, the black shadow over that vast temple. Why does it haunt my memories? Now that I can only hope that nothing terrible will happen. In her dreams, the princess sensed a new danger. Then, that day... Huh? Where's that strange light in the east? Princess Zelda followed the mysterious brilliance. Hello, Blue Shadow. Welcome to the stream. We just started. I've gone through my explanation already, but I'll catch up to speed. Now, what could that have been? It's almost as though something fell from the sky. Who is this? A strange youth was lying there. Ah, is that you, Agina? Oh, if it isn't Princess Zelda. I saw a strange beacon of light shining from here. What has happened? This here young'un dressed something unusual. He's got like a casual tunic and some sort of cap. Not dead, I hope. Princess, this child does not hail from the village. There's no time to worry about such things. Come, this youth could be injured. Hurry and help me, please. Carrying the youth, Agina and Princess Zelda hurried to the nearby shrine. It is strange, but there appear to be no wounds. We shall heal this youth and allow this youth to rest here. It's been a long time, Agina. You look well. You're as beautiful as ever, Princess Zelda. We speak of such things, but we haven't seen old Tarashra recently. My older brother warned me that danger surrounded Hyrule. He went in search of Link, the hero. Link, the hero? Link the hero, the legendary swordsman who fought alone against Ganon. Seeking new adventure, he left Hyrule behind. You as well? I too have a feeling of annoying nightmares of late. I feel as though a shadow draws near. Princess, this place may also be rife with danger. Please return to Hyrule Castle. You speak the truth. I will leave for the castle at once. But Agina... Barely fitting all this in, it goes really quick. The youth who appeared in the light. I feel a strange power about this one. If endowed with courage, this could be the hero of light. You don't say. I thought that was Link. With these words, Princess Zelda took leave of Agina's shrine. This is a disaster! Aren't you the soldier who was at the Eastern Temple? What's wrong? Are you alright? You're hurt. A horde of monsters came at me from nowhere. All other soldiers defending the temple with me were killed. It looks like they haven't appeared yet. Oh, boy, hold on to your strength. So Zelda's prophecy has been fulfilled. If the monsters have returned, then... The princess departed a long time ago. She must be escorted safely to the castle. But what will happen to Hyrule now? We must rely on the youth. A new danger has befallen the legendary kingdom of Hyrule. Can the mysterious youth, who has apparently been declared the hero of light, save this doomed land? I think I can do that. Welcome to the long-lost Zelda game. Restored by fans, because Nintendo won't do it. Alright, so we wouldn't normally go straight into the game without even a second thought, because that would have been the first 6 minutes of the game's original broadcast. As you can see, my file from week 4 has carried over. So if I start now, I can break the game. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit erase, so I've got to press select for that. But, because obviously this is a fan-made remake, / restoration, mod, ROM hack, what have you, they've built a save system which saves every minute. So technically you could warp to your spawn point by just resetting if you want to. A little bit of quality of life improvement there, but that's just how they were able to restore it. I don't think you get this screen in the original, and I wouldn't be able to take the time to be talking now, because once we start, we don't have a chance to pause. Time ticks in real time, because remember, it was supposed to be a broadcast through radio waves, basically like a live stream, but you would also download the game while you do it. It's interesting. But, again, Nintendo have an online service, and they won't do it, and I'm calling them out, because it's weird. But I guess I just don't consider this Zelda game canon, even though it is basically their own kind of quote-unquote ROM hack. This is their Zelda version of a Doki Doki Panic, basically. Right, so I've got my notes up. I'm going to hit erase, obviously, so I'm gone, and I've got to pretty much select how I would want to look as a boy or a girl from the Satellaview. It's basically your Satellaview avatar. They've pretty much retrofitted this menu so you can choose how you want to be, and it warns you that progress is auto-saved. Alright, so we're going to go boy, and basically we start with at 6 minutes in, and the game will finish at 56 minutes in. We have 50 minutes of gameplay time. Let's go. I'm going to go quick. Please try to keep up. Ah, so you have awakened, young child from another world. You were wrapped in a mysterious light which brought you here, although I do not know what it was. So naturally, I do not know who you are, but according to Princess Zelda, as Agana talks over him, because that would be the voiceover at the bottom of the screen, as I mentioned already, but according to Princess Zelda, this land of Hyrule is once again facing a crisis, and only you can stop it. Why? I don't believe it at first, but now I think we are to heed those words. I know of a weapon, but it is beyond my reach. Will you go to the Eastern Temple? The location's marked on your map. Go outside, press X. There we are! So we received a big bag of it, basically our ethereal pouch. So that's it, you'll go. Head to the temple east of here. That will help you carry anything you find on your journey. Don't ask me how we carry that big bag. Be careful as you go. Is something you do not understand? Return here. I can give you some good advice. I can always count on you for helpful-friendly advice, although I've never seen a sword. Quite the sheer size. Oh god, that's not a sword you take in disguise. So we'll find a sword that will help you fight monsters. So, we're out. Let's have a look at the map. We've got Ancient Stone Tablet over there, and we've got a very small area of the map available. Every chapter, more part of Hyrule is open up to us. The rest is technically not part of the game. It's original AOTTP. Again, if I load up a future save, well, as in from a different week, I'll have different stuff. So let's pause very quickly. We've got different items. We've got a bug catching net, an ocarina, which is for fast travel, as well as taking you out of a dungeon. We've got a lamp, and then we've also got a golden bee, which is actually very helpful. If we do not have a sword, that will attack everything for us until we get one. The bottle I gave you is a golden bee. It attacks monsters, but hates the glint of a sword. So, actually, I'm going to just keep that one for now, because I haven't got any magic to waste, so that's not a problem. I'm going to hop all the way down here, and we're going to start heading upwards. So we've got some stuff already. We've ticked over a couple minutes, so we're already losing time, which is not good. And, yeah, but basically, oh, that's the thing. If I press L here, we get to see our today's goals. What items we want to finish off with, how many tablets we want, the abilities that we have, the equipment we have, bottles we have, and the amount of hearts that we want. Basically, you're going to get 4 heart containers per chapter, and you start off with 4 heart containers as well. So, you need to get about 8 heart pieces, 2 heart containers by getting the 2 Ancient Stone tablets and all the equipment. If you don't get all equipment from a dungeon, you can just go to the entrance of that dungeon in another week in order to get what you need in order to actually progress. Listen carefully. It's easy to break down walls that look crumbled. And he's saying at the bottom, if we play the ocarina, you will soon find yourself back at the dungeon entrance. So, this game's got a score system as well, if you haven't noticed. At the bottom of the screen when I pause, there's a score. Yeah, this game was mostly score-based. You didn't have to beat the game, and you don't have to beat it 100%. Every action you take, every damage you take as well, every game over you take, pretty much affects your score, yeah. Rupees actually factor in as part of your score, so you want to get as many as possible. I went the wrong way immediately, that is me being stupid. Could have potentially whipped out the golden bee, but I need to come through here anyway, because we need a key. Because we don't actually need to kill the enemies. You are fighting well, young one. Here is a fortune teller. The fortune teller will be within Sahasrah's house, where Agana, the sage that is guiding us, is. If you don't know, Agana was the green robed looking Sahasrah in the desert cave, right next to the desert palace. He's now our sage. You got a level 1 sword! You know what to do. Hold B to do a spin attack. And I'll hit that 3 times. You shall predict your fortune. Hocus pocus. Use an item to open a path with a fragile part of the left wall. I see shadows of fairies near the youth. Yep, so fairies are spawning. If you don't want your bee, get rid of that, and you can go catch these fairies with the bug catching now. I'm not going to bother for now. I just want to open up this and get some bombs. Did you hear that? It seems fairies have appeared, young one. I'm not going to be trying to read everything at the bottom of the screen, because otherwise I'm not going to get a chance to even breathe or talk about the game itself. But for now, pretty basic stuff. We got the map. We can check that. Check it a lot. Cracked walls do not show themselves. You'll have to bomb every wall or tap it with your sword. Or, as you can see with the 2 rooms we got north here, just slash it and it will make a hollow sound like cutting a bush. But stabbing the wall also works. So, and because you're going to get a lot of bombs as well as, you know, having a lot of opportunities to upgrade your storage, you can just bomb every wall anyway, and you'll probably be fine. I'm not going to open up every pot either, I say as I do, just to keep my bombs stocked up. It's mainly because that I'll be wasting time. By getting 100%, you cut things really close. And there's a couple of random things that could screw you up, and there's 2 of those random moments in every week. And one of the 2, I always have to prioritise above all else. I didn't bomb north for the previous room, but I do need to bomb that room. So let's come back over here. See, this is the problem. I go too fast, I immediately forget things. But yeah, rupees are 5 figures because it all adds to your score. Just saw Master of Time. The hack looks interesting and I want to try it. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing other ROM hacks as well. This is more of an actual official Zelda game that Nintendo don't want to re-release, and there was no way for me to actually play it in our country. It was Japanese exclusive. It was also timed exclusive, and it was also time-specific exclusive. So you can imagine that it was incredibly hard to play, even if you did have all of the equipment. So keep that in mind. I'm going to access the map quickly. Nothing to bomb. We can go onwards. That is fine. We could go onwards in the map, but there is no way to go left, so we want to bomb that wall. Place a bomb. Bombs are your friend in this ROM hack, just saying. Would be nice to have the boomerang. Got the compass, it shows you where the boss is. Nothing too dramatic, you know where it is. It's normally at a dead end or in a solo room in the basement sort of thing. If it would only show you where the location of chests are, that would be so much more helpful. And remember, they said that Link was missing. That's because he's off on Koholint Island. Well, originally. It's like that was supposed to be the original intent, but I guess because after a certain amount of time passes, the Oracle games happen first, and then you go to Koholint Island. Want to bomb that wall as well? I'm trying not to check the map too much because it does eat up time. There's no way to pause, as I mentioned already. That time is always ticking. So far, I've only seen Breath of the Wild having 5 figures to carry rupees. I think you can carry... What's the limit on, A Link Between Worlds? Oh, I've explored everything on this floor. That's actually pretty pog. So let's smack you. The problem is, trying to find this game's title on Twitch's, category selection, it's in Japanese, so this is probably not going to get picked up by Twitch that much, but hey, it's still going to get archived, so that's the point. Also, have you noticed that I've changed my layout from my previous attempts back in the day? Maxin Link to the Past is the same as Twilight Princess HD. 4 digits. Yeah. Wait, hang on a minute. Am I doing a stupid? No, I don't think I'm being... I think I am being a stupid. Hang on. I am being a stupid. You see what I mean? Easy to forget, because there's nothing indicating that these are secret rooms. And to be fair, you don't need to open them. There are a lot more things to prioritise than, well, 40 rupees in 2 chests. But you know me, if I want to declare 100%, I need to get everything. And I fear that I might struggle. So at the end of every week, I'm going to make a save state, just in case. Yes, I'll get rid of my current save states, but these may be more accurate. Boom! Oh, look at that. 30 rupees to my name. Can't scoff at that, can you? Just follow it around. I'm not going to open up every pot, as I mentioned. I'll do these ones, though, because then I can just snipe. And, oh, I needed to do that, because there's a key in there. Okay, now I'm paranoid. Maybe I do want to pick up every pot. It'll be better if I had the hammer, because then I could just smash them. Because you can't slash pots with a level 4 sword. This ain't a Link to the Past on GBA. So, keep that in mind. Need to access every room of every dungeon. So as part of 100% in vanilla and Link to the Past, that's fine. Let's check the map quick. I'm pretty sure I've, yep, got every room so far. Whack that chest, get this. It's pretty linear. Big K, you're going to use that immediately in the next 2 rooms. This won't last for long, youth. Be sure to gain many. Right, so at 15 minutes into week 1, or day 1, whatever you want to call it, chapter 1, at 15 minutes in, every enemy is guaranteed to drop money. So this is the time to literally kill everything to just inflate your score. I'm having a lot of trouble hitting this guy. I've seen a vision of arrows. Soon many can be used. So if I just hang around for literally 1 moment, because literally a minute later after having 5 minutes of enemies dropping money guaranteed, look at my arrow count. Now I have infinite arrows for 5 minutes. I've now only got 4 minutes of enemies guaranteed to drop arrows. However, if you pick up any arrows, your quantity will still increase. So you'll pretty much be maxed out on arrows by the time it wears off. And it's different for every week as well. A bow will be able to strike indefinitely. Waiting for the text. I forgot to pass down my brother's words. There are armoured enemies in the Eastern Palace. Yeah, that'll be the boss, and that'll be the Armo statues, as you know. Yep, onwards we go. You need to take a break from Legend of Zelda. It'll be a while before you stream on a record. Yep. I know of this, so we can talk about this. Wait. I'm doing it again already, aren't I? No, I'm not. I'm fine. I'd rather use the pots against these guys. Oh, wow. Well, that was a double screw-up. There we go. Salvaged. Need bombs. Not in this room, is it? No, next room. God, I can't remember the map. What's wrong with me? I'm going too quick for myself. That's what the problem is. Right, pop that there. Get the bow. Link's Awakening for the Switch, not the GB. Oh, you mean Game Boy? You mean Game Boy Color? Kill you. Oh, it didn't kill. God damn it. That is incredibly awkward. There we are. Alright, so the next time of interest is actually coming up in the next minute. We haven't actually been there yet because we haven't left the Eastern Palace area yet. But we will be after this because it's really the only other place we can go. So it'll be worth of note. And here it is. Master Agony! Master Agony! What are you shouting about? I say as I get the Pegasus shoes and not even acknowledge. Thing with the Pegasus shoes! You can turn on a dime! Looks like you're heading for trouble. Do you want to carry more arrows? 50 rupees. Yep, give. Alright, so we've increased our total. There's no waterfall wishing. Those guys basically replace that, but they increase it by a factor of 10. Yes, they have a new type of potion. It's gold and recovers both life force and magic power. So there's a gold potion that is now available in the, Oh, music kind of bugged there because I'm killing them so quickly. But yeah, there's a new potion in Ancient Stone Tablets. It's the gold potion. It's basically a blue potion, but they only make 1 of it per week. And it also gives you the ability to charge your sword faster. So, yeah, no waterfall of wishing, no pond of happiness, because there's no time to be wasting. It's all just there. Link's already grabbed all the stuff. He spread them around. We just went through the first dungeon to reclaim his fighter's sword, shield. They used this temple as a storage facility for some of Link's early stuff. You got a strange stone tablet. Does this stone tablet have some kind of significance? Probably. Alright, so with that, I'm pretty sure that dungeon was 100% complete. Let me check one moment. Yeah, it was. But yeah, so the Eastern Palace was basically renovated for the purpose of helping out Link. But this is the best thing about this, because like you can just turn and continue dashing with the Pegasus shoes, which again, with time management, is incredibly helpful. Obviously, your speed is still the same when you climb up stairs. Hocus pocus. If you have boots, try holding down the A button, Brood. How about I press the Y button and blow stuff up? Yeah, I'll keep the bombs on, why not? So we're at 20 minutes in now. Almost halfway through our time limit already. I want to be a bit quick here, actually, because I need to go grab some stuff. If not, I can change my routing, but we need to come back here anyway, because there was a heart piece for us. The power to gain rupees from enemies is gone. The weather will soon worsen. Rain is near. Right, as soon as he's finished saying that, it's going to get misty, and once it's raining, enemies become only Zoras, and bombs do not work. So, that's why we want to hurry up a bit here. I want to get down here. Ah, youth, did you hear? While rain falls, one cannot use bombs. Should you find a suspect place before then, bomb it. I hate it when I dash in front of chests when I try to open them. Keep it a secret from everyone, 300 rupees. That is also a decent point boost. I don't know the value of everything that gives you points, but I do know... Okay, that wasn't a place to bomb. Just making sure. Well, I like how the magic beat is horizontal. Yeah, it's because the HUD has been slightly changed. Let's come over this way, and I just want to do this. There we are. Get that hot piece as well. That's 2 so far. This is a mini-game, quite a unique one at that, especially for Link to the Past, but it's due too early, so we will have to come back later. That is a whack-a-pot mini-game kind of thing. You need to whack pots with your hammer. I want to go down here for them. Actually, no. I'll leave that for later. Instead, I want to go down. Because there's nothing else to do at that point, and I want to bomb that before it starts raining. Please? Nice! I'm going to ignore the rupee for the moment. Well, I say for the moment, it's going to disappear. Now it's going to be raining. Every time you hear that ting, that means a minute has passed. It's just gone to the next minute. It's auto-saved, and stuff's going to happen. Okay, so it's not raining yet. We're still good. Bomb that. Don't need a heal from the fairy right now, so that's not a problem. Supposed to get, like, a few more heart pieces, but I don't think I'm going to get them in time, but we'll try. So we've got a bunch more money there. Let's get out of this area. There we go. I want to bash this. There we are. Go down here, and I believe this is another heart piece. It is. It's just kind of sitting there. I tend to not dash into them because you just bounce off it, or you just kind of stop right in front of it. Technically, still bouncing off it, but you know what I mean. Alright, so, we're heading north. We could have whipped out our, oh, actually. Bomb that! I've got better time than I did before. I can do this earlier. You missed what I said about streaming GameCube of the Wind Waker. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, as I said, I'm going fast. Alright, so I've got that early. Nice. Because it's just about to rain now. Yep, it just started raining. So that was just in time. So bombs are useless for now. The rain has finally begun to fall. You will not be able to use bombs in rainy areas. Do you understand, child? We try to go to Hyrule Castle right now. Achoo! It's tough standing out here in the rain. Isn't that Zora? Young one, you must beware the Zoras. Or Zoras, if you're going by the now known name for them. Then again, they are technically, they're just changed, and they take a lot of abuse. That'll do it. So, we want to go to the magic shop. Now, if I just whip out my ocarina quick, because I might as well, because it's going to take us there anyway. You always have an M on the map for the magic shop, or the potion shop as it's supposed to be called. He actually goes inside when it's raining, so that's a nice little tidbit notice. I'm going to just toss this away. I don't need the golden beet. I want one of every potion because they're one time only. Even though I'm not going to use them because I won't be needing them. Right, so maybe if I can get away with not whipping out my... Oh no, he didn't follow. Dang. I was about to say if he wanted to stay along without me whipping out my sword, that would have been awesome, but oh well. Actually, isn't Link to the Past first game where there was rain involved? Only in the intro, and it wouldn't have affected gameplay. So, as it's raining, I can place a bomb next to this, but it's never going to blow up. It'll poof, and that's that. Rental store? Want to hop in here? If you want to do double damage, we can spend 100 rupees to get a level 2 sword. It's not the Master Sword, it is a level 2 sword. I'm going to do this, just so I can take out enemies quicker. Would you like the red... Would you like a... Oh, anything you like. I recommend a shovel. There, we'll do that later. What would this customer like to rent? Couldn't words there for a minute. I'll probably cut that out. King Zora has become docile from the rain. King Zora, eh? The creature at the end of the Northern Lake, which we are actually at. We are here now, and that is bloody well perfect. Because for the next 10 minutes, after 25 minutes in, the flippers are half price. So we got here, like, perfectly. I heard it from my brother. He sells flippers for 300 rupees. But because he's docile, he's feeling generous. And he'll do 150 rupees. Ignore the glitch. Fare thee well, good sir. Thank you for the ability to swim. Now, there are no warps in the water because you don't really need them. In fact, the Ocarina warps are pretty good. There's actually no Dark World either, because if you remember, the Sacred Realm was restored, so that's not the problem. So you only have one world, so they basically stick everything into a single map. It's condensed really well, to be fair. Right, we want to walk to the back here. Because we're indoors, we are able to use bombs, so that's not a problem. There we go. And there's another secret for everybody. Thank you, Thief. I will use the money wisely. And the points that you give me. Alright, so, you know, okay, so in chat they were asking, where's the Waterfall Wishing? Well, it's technically still here, but it's no longer a fairy fountain. It's actually been converted into a temple. And this is the second temple that we need to get to if you checked on the map. And our next point of interest is actually 34 minutes in, so we don't need to worry about that for now. Listen carefully. If a torch goes out, use the lantern to relight it. That we do. Push, push. So we can go through there. And if we come over this way, we need a key. What? Is it still raining? Can bombs still not be used? I mean, if we had water bombs, that wouldn't be a problem, but they weren't a thing yet. Hocus pocus. Not yet, but I feel a mysterious force. So, I need to get into a room of enemies. Alright, it might pop off here, if I wait around a bit. I don't want to be wasting time, but I want to show it off. A strange power gathers around the youth. So once it hits 128... Okay, I'm not doing a good job dodging these guys. That's actually kind of bad. Can it poof off? Okay, this works. Some kind of power. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little bit quick. I was just making sure I read it in time. Come on! 128! Don't keep me waiting. There we go. It has vanished. Yep, the game just randomly kills all enemies for you. But considering my routing, my speed, it always happens when there's no enemies on screen. To be fair, if there is no enemies on screen and you're outside, it won't pop off until you transition to a screen with enemies on. I haven't the faintest idea what's happening. Youth, have you been to a rental store? Yep, I've got a level 2 sword and I'm not afraid to use it. Right, so we got the key, we got a compass, usual stuff. There's one on the east of Hyrule, north of the temple. North of the Eastern Temple is what he's saying. They expect you to find this one. Although the seer will mark it on the map for you. He's a nice guy. Because he's actually giving us his services without needing to pay. But then again, I guess Agon has hired him for like an hour of strict fortune telling. There we are. Now we got the map. Let's have a look at it. We're not missing any rooms just yet, so that's fine. Oh, here we go. I don't have the bow equipped, so I will smack these guys with pots. Open your eye! Bah! Nothing to bomb. That's fine. Sonic Blade! I'd rather take him out with a pot. I actually do not know if he dropped anything, because he landed behind the other one. Yeah, he didn't. Okay, cool. Hidden rooms. We have one. Like I said, you might as well just bomb every wall when you see them. Just in case. Instead of checking the map all the time. I mean, yes, checking the map takes a couple of seconds, but that time adds up after a while. Oh, the rain has let up. The Zoras have returned to the river. And therefore we can use bombs again outside. But we've only got 4 minutes until the next major point of notice. Which will actually be very perfect, because by the time we come out of the dungeon, that will be exactly what we'll be bumping into. What of King Zora's temper, Seer? He is returning to normal. Wait. It's one of these walls, I'm pretty sure. There we are. That's so. Youth, did you hear? More than half your time has expired. Yep. Because we only have 50 minutes. Per sesh. Right, we'll go in there in just a minute. Map. We do not have the big key, so we can't go to the left yet. So how conveniently this just so happens to be the very key that we need. Like I said, the dungeons are challenging enough that they're fun to run through. It's more of a speedrunner Zelda game. Because, again, the goal isn't to have difficulty. In fact, it's much more easier than A Link to the Past. You've just got to go fast. It's just, you need to focus on speed more than difficulty. It's very easy. Speaking of easy, we've got the magical boomerang. Well, I say magical boomerang, it's more like just an improved boomerang. If I pause and chuck it, it does have the right length, but it doesn't sparkle. So it does the same damage as the blue boomerang, but has the length of the red boomerang in A Link to the Past. It doesn't have the sparkle, so it doesn't do more damage. Or cut bushes. Ow, rude. I want to pull one of these, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to. No, I'm not. Thinking of a different dungeon. Let's look at the map. Let's go in the bottom left first. Oh yeah, by the way, as I mentioned, with any rental item, they last for 10 minutes after purchasing them for 100 rupees. So, we want to be quick with what we have. And I need to bomb this wall over here. This is the wall I was getting confused with. There we are. For another goodie. And another 20 rupees, not too bad. Not really worth the time, but, you know. Stick it in the whole thing. And check the map one more time. Just cycle round to get to the upstairs rooms. And we do require the boomerang in this room. You can throw the boomerang to grab items you cannot reach. I already have done, in case you couldn't figure it out. I mean, maybe you would be thinking that, oh, it won't reach because it's the... Because it doesn't, like, you know, it's... Oh, no, yeah, I think it would have reached because it is the red one. Oh, the fog has cleared. Youth, are you lost in a maze? Yes, I be. And it's just about hit for 134, like 34 minutes in. Don't worry about the hour on the timer, by the way. That's just to say what week you are. That's how they programmed it. Otherwise, it would have said 18. So it would have been played about like 6 PM in Japan before. Each week would have been on 16. So, looks like you're heading for trouble. Do you want to carry more bombs? Yes, please. So, why did I come in here? Master Agina, I see a hard piece under a waterfall. Ah, how convenient. We're in a dungeon that's right in front of a waterfall. Or within a waterfall. So yes, that's the point of interest. There's actually a heart piece that you cannot get until the rain ceases. And you'd probably be in the very dungeon that it's going to appear outside of when it happens. So when you come out, you'll get a heart container and a heart piece. We can go right. So that's a bomb. Twisted shadow dwells within it. The north here. A shadow, eh? Youth, you should look into it. I already am. Like if you didn't already realise that you could find this dungeon earlier. Basically, this is telling you, hey, that's the next dungeon. Get it done in less than 20 minutes. Because ironically enough, that's the time we have remaining. I don't have the magic powder, so I can't really do anything about this anti-fairy. Just going to have to avoid him for now. Step on the pressure switch. What's the map looking like? Almost done in this dungeon. Gotta make our way round to that chest over there. At least we can now see what we're doing. Next room. Gotta kill the enemies to get through. Really waste the pot. That's not helpful. Give me that key. Master Agina. What is it? Is it Agina or Agina? I know that the fan dub pronounces it as Agina, but I say Agina. But then again, that's also confused with Aghanim. But maybe that's why they thought that he was trustworthy, because he's got like a similar name. I don't know. King's Hall is back to normal. Yep, so that means that the half-price offer is now no longer off time, so that means the 10 minutes have appeared. When an effect happens, I'll tell you how long it actually lasts for, so we don't have to dwell on the fact that, oh yeah, that's coming up to expiry. It will say it on the bottom of the screen. I've told you how long at the time it will last for. I need to bomb the right wall here and follow the path. A mysterious force gathers again. I'm nowhere near any enemies, so that's not going to be useful to me, unfortunately. This is the one I need to pull the tongue. In the other rooms, I was thinking of another dungeon. Yep, there was no enemies. That was wasted. And that's also locked me in place, which is not very helpful. It has vanished again. If it keeps occurring... it must mean something. Perhaps the land of Hyrule is granting our youth some special abilities. Or something along those lines. I'm approximating it as I'm going, because they leave you hanging for a while. That is the whole dungeon done, right? Yeah, it is. Look at that. Time to finish this thing. Oh, look at you. And it's not... there's no floor beneath us. So it won't void out. We'll just respawn in the room. Back at the door. And guess what? This guy would die in about 3 or 4 swipes. There we are. He's done. Give me that. As I told you, it's not supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be fast and quick. And to, you know, it's kind of funny. It's like a miniature version of Majora's Mask. Ah, my apologies, youth. I forgot to tell you something that my brother... yeah, he's going to basically tell us about the boss that we just beat, so I'm not going to read it. You know how to beat him. Hit the glowy thing on his bottom. I'm stuttering. Let's claim that. There we are. So we can't swim down the thing. The weakness is in their tails. Charge up power and release it quickly. So now that the rain is over, and we've done basically everything required for the next week, effectively so. Oh, we're back down to a normal sword, by the way. So that actually lasted for that entire dungeon, which was pretty awesome. We've got stuff to deal with, so... next point of interest is actually in 6 minutes from now, actually. So I'm just going to go grab some stuff that I couldn't get before because it was raining. So we're going to go in here first. Even if we did have bombs, we wouldn't have been able to do anything in this cave until we had the boomerang. Now, we do. That's another heart piece that we can't grab. Apparently, they're made of rock-hard stone instead of crystal or jelly. I don't know what you would call them in Ocarina of Time, because you can boomerang that one in the windmill. If it doesn't get snagged on anything else. So what I want to do is hop in here quick, and I want to rent this for 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes to find a special treasure that has been marked on a map. This is one of 2 random things within every week that you want to do. This is the one that you want to prioritize the most. Whip out your map, and you should see an X somewhere, but it's in the same place as my practice, okay? It has 1 of 4 random spots that it can be spawned in. If the time limit runs out, I think it stays the same per file load. Oh, the fairies are appearing around me again. I don't actually need them. So I'm not going to stress over that too much. The next area. Again, that's something that you can actually see as it happens, so it's not really part of my normal notes. But since we're here, we can hop into the water and go into this waterfall. Just daisy-chaining heart pieces here. Because we want to come into this hallway and bomb the wall. Sorry, fairies. I'm guessing the Waterfall of Wishing was moved over here, but they haven't finished renovating it yet. I mean, look at that. Okay, so you don't bounce off them. I guess I was just hitting them wrong in my practice. Alright, so... we have everything in this time so far. We actually got everything. Don't need to worry about bombing stuff now. But, yeah, we still need to wait for a few more minutes to pass before we can do anything. So I'm just going to Sonic Blade my way through these enemies. He didn't drop anything. Okay, fair. Yeah, now now it's not raining. If I didn't get in here in time, I would have had to bomb that. So that would have been a bit unfortunate. How strange. Where did Princess Zelda go off to? Oh boy. Zelda's on the run! Let's see what's going on. Have you seen Princess Zelda? She went out by herself this morning, and should have returned already. I'm worried, but I can't leave my post! I mean, can't someone fill you in, or this guy start pacing back and forth to block the area? Sounds like the princess may need someone to help her out. Just saying, if she's dead, it's on you. Just saying. Then again, it's probably on me. They'll just blame me. I'm the new guy. They always pick on the new guy. Yeah, there's not really much to do at the moment, so I'm just running around. What say the winds, seer? Hocus pocus? I don't know why, I always read that like friggin' Ripto in Enter the Dragonfly. Hocus pocus? Even if bombs are used, their number won't be decreased. Yep, we have infinite bombs now. That was 141. I accidentally missed a bit on my notes. Yeah, that was the next point of interest. Then the point of interest that I was mentioning is supposed to happen in a couple of minutes from now. Is that so? Hear that, youth? Bomb monsters and suspect walls. We got like a miniature store here, if we ever need it. But there's not really much else that we can do at the moment. So I guess we'll just go back to Agano right now, perhaps. Check this area out a little bit more. The best thing is, though, when you're on the overworld, mobile walls are obvious. It's just in dungeons where they're not. Because obviously they have more important things in them than quantity upgrades and stuff like that. Because heart pieces obviously keep you alive, so do you want to prioritize those more? Yeah, we haven't been in here yet. But you might recognize the cave. Yeah. This cave was actually further down before. You know, just to the south of this area. But it's not there now. Interesting that, isn't it? So, not really much else to do. I haven't really been in there. So what we're going to do is go south to where that cave was originally. Because we haven't actually explored this one segment yet. So let's head over this way. Since we have infinite bombs, even though we have plenty anyway, we're going to bomb away in here. Oh, god damn it. I got hit by the bomb explosion when I went through. And we got a bunch of stuff. Bomb. I think it's just 80 rupees. Because we got all the heart pieces so far. Yep, that's not a problem. Okay then, let's head out. Let's go in this cave. And what's this cave like now? Yep, they've made this into a much more uniformic Fey Fountain. Still though, it was longer before, and they tried to seal it up, but they didn't do such a good job. So let's go grab this quickly. No! Somebody help me! The glade, south of the temple! Well, that actually went really quick. Master Agata, Princess Zelda is being pursued by monsters! South of the temple, eh? I'm guessing they're talking about the Eastern Temple. I'm right here! Screw a bunch of you! Where is she? A glade south of the temple. Thank you for saving me. Those monsters had chased me all the way into this place. My name is Zelda. I live in Hyrule Castle to the west of here. Please take me to the castle. With pleasure, ma'am. She was followed when she left. Youth, you must help her. I'm escorting her back now. So that was a rescue event. In a couple of weeks, there are rescue events. If you do them, you get, I believe it's 10 or 50,000 points, and normally a money reward. You don't have to do them. It will be sorted out afterwards anyway, but you get rewarded for it. But it is optional. I woke up early this morning. When I looked outside, a ray of light fell from the sky. I felt that something might came looking for that light. Finding you collapsed. It's a good thing that Zelda can keep up with us with our Pegasus shoes. She's been going jogging. Uniformic? Oh, like, stuff's like the same? Or looks similar? Like if you have like a thumbnail template, some things are the same, so it makes it uniformic. At the time, I wondered why you appeared there. But now I understand why you were brought here. You were the hero of light. Again, I thought that was Link. That would make more sense. Or are we like a proxy? Like when he's not available, we do the deed. We're just whisked away from another world in order to do this. You remind me of someone else I know. Someone who saved me in the past. No, not just me, but the Kingdom of Hyrule. He was small, but a true hero. Master Agner, a suspicious peddler, has set up shop. This is event number 44 minutes in. I was able to return safely, thanks to your help. A hole south of the temple. What does he have to offer? I guess it's not random then. I swear it was random before. The mole normally has about 5 points. They're talking about a mole because he looks like a peddler with weird glasses. Seems if you do something for him, he might yield a profit. Princess, thank goodness you're safe. Where have you been? I'm sorry to have worried you, but I was being chased by monsters. This is the friend who saved me. What? You're the one who saved the princess? How could such a small child defeat such dangerous monsters? Very quickly. I'm sorry, a person's age doesn't matter. Oh dear, I still have to thank you. Please accept this small rupee reward. Ba-ba-da-ba! Master Agner, what, is the peddler gone? You received 300 rupees for saving someone's life. And that's basically all the plot in this. Now we got some stuff. Oh, right, no. Yeah, they don't point out where... Oh, no, the mole's down below. The mole's down below. What that was talking about before when we were talking with Emperor saving Zelda, they were talking about the minigame being open. This guy doesn't have any notification that he shows up. He just does. He shows up at 43 minutes in. No, 44 minutes in. We had to rescue Zelda on 43 minutes in. And at 45 minutes in, that's when the pot minigame opens up. And the number of bombs has been reset. Moly ho, holy moly ho, you're in luck, you found me. I'll tell you where to find some great treasure, ignore the glitches, listen carefully. Go to the west of the magic shop for something good, hurry. This is definitely random, because I didn't find him in this spot last time. Basically, once it clocks in, even though you don't know where he is, you just got to know when he shows up, you got to find him. Once you find him, you need to get moving. The where he goes after you find him is always set in stone, but he can be in one of 5 different places. Moly ho, you made it. I dug a hole, there's a lot of treasure inside. So, and the game, as I said, does not make mention of this guy at all. So, in Chapter 1, Day 1, Week 1, whatever you want to call it, there is a bunch of chests in here yielding 100 rupees if you can find the guy and then make it to his hole in time before time runs out. He can either be next to the rental shop, south of the waterfall, or north of the Eastern Temple. He could be outside the waterfall fairy fountain. He could also be east of the wooden bridge, which is pretty much where I found him last time in my practice. East of the stone bridge is where I found him. And west of the Eastern Palace hole next to the potion shop, which is... Yeah, the hole was next to the potion shop. And by just clearing all that out, time has ticked by just... Actually, I think we're missing one more chest. There it is. We just got maximum health. We haven't got infinite health, we got maximum health. This will last for 5 minutes. Basically, near the end of this week. Is that so? Youth. Even with full health, do not falter. I can't remember what he says. We'll wait for it to tick. All these containers, watch your strength. If weakened, look for a fairy fountain. I forgot if that boss you defeated was the second boss in the vanilla game. It was the third. Moldworm... Oh, yeah. Moldworm was the third boss in the Tower of Hera on top of Death Mountain. The first boss that we fought is actually the first boss. Ironically, though, we haven't actually got much else to do. We're done. And, as I said, not a lot of time to spare. As things are time-sensitive, we have to wait for a certain amount of time to pass before we can do anything. Like rescuing Zelda, for example, or doing the mole. Now we're done, so there's not much else to do. I'm going to lose my shovel soon, but there's nothing I can do about that. So, why don't we go check out that minigame that opened up right when we were saving Zelda? This is the strange peddler they were on about. Relive stress at the pot smashing store. Just 50 rupees for 15 seconds to smash all the pots you want. But you shouldn't get greedy and keep smashing the shiny pots for rupees. Would you give it a try? Yes. It's a hammer. You can use it to smash the flowing pots like crazy. So what you want to do is basically chain break pots. Oh, whoops. They say don't get greedy with the flashing pots, but the skull pots don't do anything either, so yeah. Once again, defeated foes will certainly yield rupees. I'm going to go home, because there is literally no reason to play these minigames. They're just kind of nifty and pretty impressive for how they implemented them, because you don't get minigames like that in Link to the Past normally. That's also a thing I wanted to make mention with all these restoration mods and all that. All inside areas had to be recreated from resource material, which includes the minigames and all that functionality. All the overworld, that was left intact, so yeah, that's kind of interesting. But yes, 6 minutes remain. We have 5 minutes to kill as many enemies as possible to get money. And since I haven't really got anything else to do, it's chill time. We can just kill everything. Plus, we've got maximum health at the moment. And we're filled up with that as well. So we can just dash through every single Octorok here and get paid, effectively. And remember, rupees count towards your score. So, since there's not really anything else to do, this is all we're going to be doing. We're just going to have some fun. So that minigame was pointless at the vanilla shooting gallery. Yeah. All the minigames that involved that, what the Seer and Agana mentioned as the strange peddler. Yeah, what he keeps saying, come back later. It's literally only available. The minigame is basically available for the last 10 minutes of the week. So I will try to play one game of each one just to show it off, but it's not going to be something I'm going to be maining with, especially not right now because this is just a lot more lucrative. Hope you enjoyed week 1 at least. Obviously, each week is going to be basically a separate episode, edited down on YouTube, so there'll be 5 videos, for one for each week, and then 1 bonus episode on week 1. Just for a bit of funsies. Because whatever is in the cloud area on the map, that's not changed from the original game for the most part, so, except for obviously the indoors, because they've all had to be redone, so, you know, things work. So if we went indoors, we could bug out and go to different places. So that'd be pretty interesting. It can cause crashes like that as well, but thankfully we have rewind options and save states, so... Oh, restore points, shall I say, but I won't be using the restore points, I'll be using the rewind feature. Siblincario, welcome! You've just reached the tail end of week 1. We're just grinding money right now because there's nothing else to do, but we have guaranteed rupee drops for 1 more minute at the moment. Once it hits 55, we're not going to get guaranteed money drops, which is kind of unfortunate. So, I'm trying to kill as many as possible, get the reds. And there we are, we're not going to get any more guaranteed rupee drops. Master Agana, the power to reliably get rupees has disappeared. Well, nothing else to do now. Except for maybe just go back and hang out with Agana. That's the end of the week. Is that so? Anything left to do, youth? Only 1 minute remains. Yeah, there's not really much you could do in 1 minute, just saying. Oh, did I get a bit of screen tear for a second? Hope not. I haven't completed any tasks unfinished. I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I've been in there. Yep, there's nothing else to do. Let's go hang out in it. The ironic thing is, when he says that finish any tasks left unfinished, that's pretty much going to be time up anyway. You have journeyed enough for today. If you believe nothing has been left behind, rest for a while. If you want to know more about your items, press the L button, which we're going to do. Oh, never mind, kicked us out before I did it. Yeah, you press R to check the status, the information of your items. We'll check that out in the beginning of chapter 2. How are you doing, young one? Do you tire? It looks as though you were able to help Princess Zelda. Changes the ending a bit if you do rescue her. It seems that you're striving to be a hero in bravery as well. Thank you for rescuing me. You're the only one left who can help us. Though your task is difficult, please don't give up. Princess, it looks as though the youth has found some stone tablets. Mysterious characters are written here. However, I believe that more of these tablets are hidden around Hyrule. Is that so? It is possible that if one travels to my brother's house in Kakariko village, some clues will be found. Princess, I think you should try accompanying the youth. Oh, sorry, but I must not leave the castle again. Please, return home safely. That's no worries. Thank you for dropping in, Sibling Guru. Hopefully you'll catch, Chapter 2. Ah, this is the house of my brother. No, of Sahasrahla, the Elder of Hyrule. It has grown late. We will rest here. You know, I have no idea where Sahasrahla went in order to try and find Link. And we hear that ding, so that means it's now finished. There's still a long way to go. Don't forget to migrate your SRAM file. Just a reminder, this is basically added in the ROM hack so that the restoration can function. Especially with emulators. It's specifying an emulator, which is unfortunate, but you know, if Nintendo won't do it. So you can see that our money, how many heart containers we have, how many ancient stone tablets we have, and how many deaths we have taken for our total score across all 4 weeks, tallied per week. Press B, there we are. So now we have our second result screen, which tell us the raw tallies. It doesn't tally everything that we've done, but the main scores that you can track, that's what it's tracking here. So our total score was 15,700. Every rupee, times it by 10, basically add a 0 to the end. That's how much points we got for our money. Every time we lose a heart container worth of health, we lose 100 points. Every time we game over, we lose 10,000. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do perfect. But, well, in terms of not dying at least. But, as you can see, my final score, after the tally of total score of actions in the game, plus the money that we have, times 10, any damage that we've taken full heart's worth, taken away, as well as any game overs, our finishing score is 184,400. You're right, it's Sahasrahla, the land where Mario goes to save Daisy. I think that's what it's called, or Sahara Land? It's very close. I wonder if they took that dude's weird name and made that a thing for Super Mario Land. That would make sense. And that's it. That's basically where it ends. So, obviously, we're going to continue with the live stream. We're going to just go straight to the next one. But in terms of YouTube, that's the end of week 1. So, I hope to see you in the next episode where we continue starting in Kakariko. See you guys then.